Some people say it's the golden age of introverts. It's the era of social distancing. People who are naturally more quiet and reserved are finding it easier than the outgoing talkative types. But even for introverts, this is a hard time. Not even shy people like being locked up. I think we all need help in coping. So I've been rooting around in Christian tradition for ideas. And I use the word rooting intentionally. We find our roots in the Christian tradition. There are lots of roots and branches of our spirituality. And that means lots of different ideas, images, and resources for us to consider. Since the lockdown, I've been talking about some of them in these online sermons. I've suggested some traditional spiritual practices: focused breathing, meditation on the natural world, doing acts of kindness, remembering the good stuff, savoring simple pleasures. So today, as we continue to live in the golden age of introverts, I want to consider the image of the monk. There is a tradition in Christianity and other religions of the spiritual hermit, the one who lives alone with God. Now, originally, a monk could be either male or female. The word monk comes from a Greek word meaning alone. The first monks did not live together in monasteries. They withdrew from society and led solitary lives of prayer and meditation. They voluntarily chose seclusion, withdrawal, and isolation. Well, now in this golden age of introverts, most of us have involuntarily had to choose seclusion, withdrawal, and isolation. It has been forced upon us by this pandemic. Maybe we can make it feel a little better using the ancient image of the monk, the religious solitary, the holy hermit. Now, some of us, of course, live with someone else and are quarantined in community with a spouse or a partner or kids or parents. But other members of St. Mark's live alone. Don't you think that's harder? I do. My heart goes out to all of you who are in this enforced solitude by yourselves. The original monks did have connections to other people. Although they were mostly alone, they did have contact with others. Friends or disciples could visit, letters could be written, and I'm sure that today phone calls would be in the mix. Maybe those of you who are living alone can find a little comfort in this image of the monk living in solitude and yet still connected to others. Of course, there is one key element. The focus of the hidden life of the monk is prayer. These people chose and choose to live alone in order to be together with God. They led and they lead lives of prayer. I want to mention two of my friends from St. Mark's, Carolyn Hill and Mary Porteous. Each lives alone. And they have lived alone for a number of years. But Carolyn and Mary are both women of prayer. Now, I don't mean that they just say their prayers every day. I mean they are devoted to prayer. They have a ministry of intercession for other people, including you and me. They're part of St. Mark's prayer chain. This is a small group of people who are behind the scenes and they pray very hard. Trina Cooney coordinates our prayer chain. And when people ask for prayers, this group quietly and confidentially prays for others. It is confidential. They don't talk about it, except they talk about it to God a lot. So my friends, Mary and Carolyn, are part of the prayer chain. They were isolated even before the pandemic, but they don't live alone. They live with God. Some people may think they're not doing much for the world around them, but they are doing a mighty thing. They are praying for you and me, praying for people we care about, praying for our world. They are monks, holy hermits. They are religious solitaries. And this image of the monk or the religious solitary can be a comfort to all of us right now. The solitary monk is never really alone. The monk is with God. Even if we live in a family, we still have some solitude. We still need some solitude. We need alone time. And even when we get past this lockdown, which we will, there still will be times when we need or are again forced into solitude. The image of the solitary monk can be useful to us. Now, there's one other aspect of the monk worth considering, and this comes not from Christian monks as much as Eastern monks. Buddhist and Hindu monks sometimes carry a bowl. They take their bowls along on their pilgrimages. Other people put gifts in their bowls. It's usually a little food to help the monk on the way. Well, when you think about it, the beggar's bowl is an image for all of us. Each day, a monk goes out with empty bowl in hand. And whatever is placed in the bowl will be nourishment for that day. And so, like a monk going out with an empty bowl, we set out to see what each day will bring. And it will be good enough. To put this in Christian language, we say, "Thy will be done." In more universal language, we say, "Yes." So, welcome to the golden age of introverts. We're going to have to make the best of it. We have the image of the solitary monk in our spiritual tradition to inspire us. We have friends like Mary and Carolyn to inspire us. And we have the image of the beggar's bowl to inspire us. We receive whatever is placed in our bowls each day. We will find it good enough. And so, we say, yes. Amen.